chasing genetics. So when we started chasing genetics, we had read online, we seen all these people up north in confinements, which now looking back, it was two different worlds I was comparing us to, but I'm thinking these things are taking forever to grow. And we really do at this point have some really nice ewes.
Yes, we do.
And we had got registered Katahdins, Dorpers. We went through a whole.
Texels.
We went through a whole, and that's another thing. We're only getting singles, and I talked you into. We're gonna go over this, and we may offend people with this, but this is our story.
Yeah.
Because we had singles a lot, I talked him into purchasing Romanovs
Oh my gosh.
from multiple states.
We could have just left this part out.
Well, I want people to know why you were so apprehensive of getting into the Australians after this. So we bought Romanovs, and for people who do not know, we had heard about Easy Cares and things like that. So we were going to make these Easy Cares shape. We were going to start with Romanovs, and for people who rotationally graze on a larger operation, those things were the worst things on God's green earth.
It was a bad deal.
It wasn't pretty.
No.
No. The babies were like 2 inches tall. Like
for us, like this doesn't. Like she said, if this offends you, we are sorry.
This is just our bad experience.
But we did not have luck with this breed of sheep.
So
it's the quickest way we've ever been in the bottle baby business.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot.
Oh, they have a lot.
They have like 8.
We had one. You had 8.
So little that they were literally underneath the mom, and they were a foot away from nursing. And we're like, my gosh, we went through all this with the bottle babies. And so anyway, we went through the Romanov phase, and we don't need any more multiples, and we're just going for straight weights. I don't care if they have a single, whatever. We're done with that. So we had really spent some money and decided we had our flock that year, and we had bought registered Katahdins.
Mm-hmm.
We had bought Dorpers, and we bought registered Texels.
Yes.
So that fall, this was leading up to the Australians. Now, I had seen the Australians online for years, but we were drowning.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way. There was no way we were being able to afford an Australian if we wanted one. Like, some weeks it was ramen noodles, peanut butter jelly sandwiches. So we're not getting an Australian. So, and also up to this point, aside from our place, we had kept ourselves out of debt.
Yes.
And so we buy these rams for what we could afford. We do not want to go into debt on the sheep because at this point we were not confident that they would pay us back.
Yes. It's pretty touch and go for a long time.
Life's great. Everything's doing good. And I had started at that time engaging and looking at the Australians a little bit harder. So there was a guy. People asked me, so this is where the Australian story starts. People had asked me where we got into the Australians or how we got into the Australians. And I just tell them it was God. Like, it was literally God. So a guy that my dad has been friends with forever and ever, amen. I knew they ran goats. We have known this guy our whole life. He lives in my hometown of Summersville, and on the backside of where Dusty lives is Leatherwood. And so for people who don't know that, it's huge in conservation. And we'll get into why we're talking about what he rotated with and stuff here in a second. But in Summersville, which is an hour from us now, he posted online that he had Australian whites for sale. And we drug our feet. For almost 2 weeks, we drug our feet so long on this breed of sheep that he had actually taken. So we had 400 to start, and he had taken 200 to the sale barn. And after we had finally went over there and looked at them, we were sick. And so we go over there, we look at them, and we're driving across the field, and Dusty's talking about how the Australians really hadn't gone anywhere, and and like they maybe weren't being promoted. I can't remember. And I remember popping up over the hill, and I was sitting behind you.
Yeah.
And we pop over the hill, and I see these girls, and my finger could have went 10 inches deep in his side. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're real. And they had just started lambing. Mm-hmm. So he lives on the backside of Leatherwood, like I was talking, and he's got hundreds and hundreds of acres. There's some dogs. Howard, our guardian dog, was with him. And these sheep are just out there fighting for their lives. They get them up once a year, I think. They had a chute, run them through, fullers, all the things, and pulled lambs off of them, and the ewes were just so-so. So he was wanting to get out of sheep. He was getting out of goats. They were moving a different direction. They had bought an arena in town and stuff, and so I think their focus was there. But that was our godsend.
Yep. That was our first step to,
Better genetics.
yes, much better.
So we felt confidently like we had some amazing ewes and we had amazing rams that we had bred ours with. And so I'm so glad we got to lamb all those out together. So at this point, we're at a crossroads where we went in debt with the Australians.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to tell you our whole story so that way nobody can switch it up,
Yes.
switch it around, maneuver it however they want. We went in debt on these sheep and I was sick to my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh, we were
Yeah.
sick to our stomach. So not only are we sick to our stomach, but we're bringing these sheep back. So we got also there was 2 rams with them, and Sacker's what I call him, bless his heart. He jumped over a fence and ripped his sack out. So that was Australian number 1 that got killed. And then Catfish, he's the OG, the original. He come from an embryo tank, and we had brought these girls home. And mind you, at this time, we are not rotating this year like we did last year. But
Right.
last year we were on 1/2 acre to 1 acre lots. We were heavily rotating. These sheep have never seen anything. They're back there fighting mountain lions and there's pigs. And my dad laughs and says Sasquatch because they were flighty. They're not flighty by nature, but this breed was extreme, or not this breed, this group of sheep was extremely flighty. And so they're nervous, they're scared, they've never been around people. So we bring them here and we're going to start rotating these sheep with, I mean, at one point I think we had 600 head. It was all rotating together, mamas and babies and things. They're next to a highway that's very traffic area. We have kids, we have horses, we have dirt bikes, we've got people. They're seeing people every day now. It's in parasite season, they're lambing. So everything is against this breed. And we were super nervous about the loan that we took because we knew going into it that we might lose half of them.
Yes.
From our experience with bringing in breeds from different areas or different places that don't align with what your operation is. And he is working off property at that time down the road still. And so it's me. We have a 6-month-old at this time. And then we have our 4-year-old.
Yep.
And I guess I should back it up because after we got this breed, we decided we were going to go full-fledged into it and we needed to buy more rams. So we found rams. My baby was 2 months old. We were so hungry for this breed. He couldn't take off work. We couldn't leave the farm. So I loaded up our girls, 2 months old. Sharon was what, 2 or 3 at the time?
Yeah.
And then my teenage daughter, and we got in the car and we sold our last horse on the way to pick up our rams. We went down to Mr. Russell's in Mississippi. We bought 2 rams in utero, and then we purchased 2 more rams on the way home, and that was our start. So
Yep.
now we have rams. Now we have Catfish and Sacker's gone, but we have all the F1 ewes out of them, and we're going to lamb these things out and see how they do. So we lambed out those ewes that spring, not this spring, that spring in a 5 acre patch.
Yeah.
I had a sled and a cage that rocked over, fell over, never ever stayed up. Like you would end up almost kicking it across the thing rather than pulling it because it was so unstable. It was trying. Oh, it was trying. But our ewes that we had home raised, we were so paranoid because we had lost a lot of lambs previously that we would take those ewes and put them in the jug. We just had, how long is that barn? Like 20 feet maybe?
Yeah, 30, 40 feet.
How many stalls do we have in it?
15.
15 stalls. So we lambed out hundreds of ewes in a 15-stall jug. We would just put them in there long enough to get their feet underneath them and say, sorry, you're back out and you got to go. So we rotated this flock through. And the Australians, what stood out to us on those was we didn't do anything.
No.
Those lambs got up, chased the mothers. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to. We couldn't jug them. Like we literally couldn't jug them. If you tried to, they would run for the. There was no jugging them. But I'm doing all this work. The babies are crying. It's me out by myself. There was a lot of crying. I was crying. The lambs were crying. Everybody was just a big cry fest, and we're just still on the struggle bus of. We're just burnt out. We're just done, but we've got ourselves still in this mess, and now we've added a loan onto it. But the Australians lived and
Yes.
they thrived, and there was no fallout
From birth,
from birth.
we knew that we had something different. And
mind you, if anybody on here, because I know there's going to be haters out there saying, well, they didn't have good genetics on the other side. We had great genetics
Oh
on the
yeah,
other side.
yeah,
We did have commercial ewes, but we had the registered rams, and they were studs, and they were off good farms with they were biosecurity, they were all the things, they were big growthy lambs. I mean, big growthy rams. We did our part on that side.
we did.
This is not.
This was a
This
last
was
ditch
many
effort.
years away from where we were in survival mode.
Yes.
But we had the best of this world. And then we had these sheep that had everything that could have went against them. And they're thriving in our environment against the sheep that a lot of those at that point we had home raised.
Yes.
And so we were sold out.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I don't know what this breed is and I don't know much about it. And at that time I had actually emailed Graham, but it was not Graham's email. It was some like third party or whatever I found online, and I never heard back from him. And so I never investigated Tadykel any further. I don't even know that I had really looked them up much online at that point. I just was so sold out by just what we'd seen that I had, let me take this back. I had approached you, and I had approached one of our trader friends. I was like, hey, I don't know much about this, but I'm going to start a page. I've never started a page. I would have ended up in prison probably if I would have started a page before, just by how rough things were around here. So we just took a leap of faith. We knew we had something different, but we didn't know exactly what this breed was or what it was, because there was nothing out there. There's nobody talking about this breed.
No.
I couldn't get a hold of Tadykel at that time, which when I say I couldn't get a hold of him, I tried one email. So it was just a part in our story that I didn't pursue that. So I felt like we needed to tell the world about what these lambs were on our place. And so we started Peace in the Valley. So during all of this time, I do want to talk about Peace in the Valley because that is a huge part of our who we are and things. During all of this time, my aunt would come, and she's the closest thing to a mother I've ever had. We had a really rough upbringing. I had a birth mother, and my Aunt Sharon was God's gift to earth, was she not?
Yes,
Just salt of
100%.
the earth. We miss her. I think about her every single day. But she would sit on, after the house fire and all the things, she was in bad health.
She was.
But she would come over here. She would love to come over here. She was just so happy after seeing us go through everything that we went through that she loved to come and sit at the table, and she would look out our front window and say, "There's peace in the valley." And so in the process of all of this, losing the fire, losing everything, we lost her. And so that was huge. It was just this wave of craziness for several years. But so we started Peace in the Valley Farms page, and we really started investing in the breed. And at this time, I had bought those other rams. I've been looking online at registries, and we're not going to talk a lot about this, but just kind of to go through the story, we had talked to people in the registry, and there was not a lot of information from them. There was not a lot of gung-ho-ness from them. And we're a firecracker. I'm not waiting on nobody. We're getting stuff done. We're motivating. If I got a thought process in my head, I was driving down the road to make this movie, and I thought, I'm going to make a movie, and I called Philip, like, like, there's no hesitate in what we do. We have an idea, and we're rolling with it.
Yeah.
And we're going to invest.
Good or bad, that's us.
We're going hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to pick ourselves up. It's going to work or it doesn't.
This goes back to, should we have bought 300 to start with, or should we have bought 50? Looking
we
back.
have had 10 horses or 70. We're never people who take it lightly, but that's awesome, because in our marriage, though, that is one thing. If one person wants to do something to the other person, we're wholeheartedly behind them.
Oh yeah.
There's never
Good or bad, here we are.
we don't try to stop each other.
No.
Like, we're just like, yep, all right.
Let's go.
If it works, it works. If it don't, well, we've been through worse. So at this point, I see suffering. I see farmers out there. I see the way the world's going. Like, there's so much hurt around farming. And to me, this breed saved us by living.
Yes.
This breed saved our farm truly by living. When we took out that loan, we had not a cotton picking clue how we were going to pay it back. Like, literally.
No.
We did not have a clue how we were going to pay this loan back. But we just saw an opportunity, and I just knew so strongly. I felt like this was our calling, and God was pushing us in this direction. So we start the farm page. Meeting Russell Schmidt did not help me at all. He kept me so fired up last year. Like, he would call me every day and talk about how awesome this breed is, and I would call him and talk about it. And so God put him in our life to keep that flame burning. And so the more that we would talk about this breed, the more people that were interested, and the more people that wanted to hear about our story and hear what was going on and our success, and how we had went from, because there's a lot of people that watched us suffer.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people that followed us on the Peace in the Valley page, but had followed us in our journey just in life, and it had been really rough. And so to see us come from such a dark place to starting to come out of our shell and shine and want to tell people about this breed, it just really became contagious.
Yes.
And
And
so,
being willing to help people.
yes, along the way.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like,
Yes.
we started doing farm tours. We had the Australians last year. We started doing farm tours. People came from everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And not only for the Australians, but just because it was somebody to talk about sheep.
Yes.
So as we started opening up our farm and started really doing all of the information and things, our confidence really started rolling.
Oh yeah.
We met new farmers. We met farmers from all over. We
When we first started, we would not be sitting here doing this.
Oh no! People said, "Well, why they must not have been farming long? They didn't have a farm page." I was like, "I don't have anything I would have posted online."
No.
I was mortified. Like, if you would have said I'm coming to your house, I'd have been like, "Ryan, go push all the sheep to the back 40."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we don't have the back 40 now. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But we were not proud of them at all. We were embarrassed. It was really a sad time in our life. We wanted better. We just didn't know how to get it. But now we had it. And now we had it. And now we were going to let the world know they were here. Still at this time, we know they're great. Russell's fueling the fire. He's excited. We're excited. But we don't know anybody else. And so we were trying to get excited and move the registry with us and reach out to people and talk to people. And if somebody said, you know, we would like to get into better genetics, and I was on every Facebook post, Australian whites. And I was in the registry and I was promoting them, and I would just wanted the whole world to have this sheep because, again, they meant so much to us. Because when you're so low and you know other farmers are so low and that's where they're at, and if they could just have a taste of this, if they could have just an ounce of financial freedom, if they could have a lamb crop that didn't lose half of them, it would just change.
Or it didn't take them 6 months to get big enough to sell.
Or longer.
Or longer.
So during this time, we went to RSG, we went to the Midwest Ram Sale, we talked to Doug. Great conversation, but we had ran into a product called Prime that they offer, and I was so in love with that, I decided hey, this is a great opportunity. Really, I was wanting to get into sale barns to promote the Australians, but I didn't know how I was going to call sale barns and say, hey, I'd like to come promote this new breed. But when I said, hey, I'm a sales rep for RSG, then, because I really didn't want to like sell the products and things, I wanted it for ourselves, but it was my way in.
Yeah.
And so that last summer, I started going around to all the different sale barns selling RSG products, but really undercover Australian white promoters.
Yeah.
Because I knew that they were going to make such a difference. And when I got into the barns and started talking to people and talking about our experience, that was where I've meant to be. God started moving and open up doors, and through the barns and through the herd, I realized that I always said that the sheep industry is like the mafia because nobody will tell you what they're doing, want us to talk about it. And I found majority of people don't want to tell you because they don't know. They're not sure. They second guess themselves. They've had a lot of hardship. They won't want to talk about it in front of people. But being where I am in the industry today, I get front row seat to everybody's story. And so our story is so many people's story. There's a few bad apples out there that are, yeah, but for the thousands and thousands of commercial producers that really truly feed America, we all have the same story.
Exactly.
So